Oh, hello. Welcome to another Today's Decay, where we celebrate births and beginnings of everything important since the dawn of time. Yeah. And on this day, October 29th, here's everything that's ever happened that's worth talking about. 1898, Vera Stanley Alder was born. I found out about her after many, many years of watching Coast to Coast or listening to Coast AM. I kind of stopped listening because I felt like all they kept talking about were the same things over and over again. Same guests. Okay, got it. And then, Ren turned me on to Mysterious Universe, and this was like a whole different dynamic. So I really enjoyed it. But I've kind of lost track of that too. But for the bit of time that I was obsessing over it, they talked about Vera Stanley Alder, who was, I think, like a new age, almost a cult writer. I don't remember her whole story now, but what I do remember, and it's been stuck with me ever since, they went into really great detail on this book she wrote called From the Mundane to the Magnificent, a volume of autobiography. And it was the story that I feel like she didn't write as fiction, but maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it was a point of fiction, but it was written in such a way that it was so interesting and exciting that I've yet to find a copy. I know they said their copies are hundreds and hundreds of dollars, so that's not happening. But anyway, so the story was all based around this one guy in England, I think's big toenail, where for somehow this character, and I really swear this was presented as if it was real and not fiction. This character winds up going into the macroverse. Yeah, let it out. And going into the atoms of this guy's toenail, down to realize that in tiny form, the atomic structure is very similar to the structure of the universe. And that actually the further down you go, that atom has planets circulating around it or something like that in a tiny form. And on those multiple planets that she visited, in as tiny as possible in this guy's toenail, you've got primitive people who are worshiping the guy whose toenail this all is, as in he is their god, and everything they could ever talk about is this random character who's just some random sleeping guy in his toenail. And that throughout his whole body is similar pretty much. And then somehow this character winds up going back to her regular size, and then winds up expanding and doing the same thing in the universe, realizing that this is ever expansive and ever minuscule. I don't know. I really liked it. I really want to read it. And the way the Mysterious Universe guys described it sounded like a lot of fun. Yeah. So anyway, on this day, 1920, the Golem premiered. Paul Wegener. I love the Golem. This is actually one of 3 films he did. Paul Wegener. We did a whole Phantom Creep stage show on Paul Wegener. He was a early German artist, filmmaker, actor. His family hated him. The fact that he was into theater and stuff, this was not a acceptable profession. He starred in The Student of Prague, a Hans Hein Evers story that they went to Prague to film, where when he went there, he heard Tale of the Golem, which is a Rabbi Levi, was a rabbi in Prague hundreds of years earlier, in the Middle Ages, maybe. I don't know. I don't know what year, but maybe a relative of mine. And created a living creature out of lifeless clay, imbued with like occult Kabbalistic rituals. And anyway, so Paul Wegener was so taken by the story that he wanted to go back to Germany and do it himself. So he stars in it. He directed at least one of the three. One of them is the one that is like most famous. This one from 1920 is the Golem, or How He Came into the World. That's like his origin story, I guess. There's another one that I think is in the modern era as well. That's maybe like 1914 or something like that. 1915. It doesn't have the production value of like, you know, the classic Golem. I think it was lost forever, and I feel like there's segments of it that are available online now. Not the whole thing, though. And then there's another one that definitely takes place in the modern era that I think is like the Golem and the Ballerina, which is almost like a joke, but takes place with him in like a theater. That one I'm pretty sure is completely lost, but it's still him. So like, even though it's like kind of riffing on the success of the Golem, it's still like the main guy doing it. Yeah. Also, on this day, 1925, Ben Chapman was born. Famously, one of the two main people to play the creature from Black Lagoon, him and Rico Browning. Yeah, hi. I met Ben Chapman. He was a really nice guy. And I feel like as he got older, he actually started to look like the creature. I don't know if that was like fate or what. James Williamson of the Stooges, born on this day, 1949. The film Return of the Living Dead Part 3 premiered on this day, 1993. And the documentary Hey, Is Dee Dee Home premiered on this day, 2002. I was involved with it to a small degree. I was a production assistant. And directed by Lech Kowalski. Produced by Ronnie Reagan. And it was kind of just a reworking of Lech's Johnny Thunders documentary called Born to Lose, which was fantastic. I don't think it ever officially got released. I think there was like probably rights issues or something. And so they really just went to figure out what content they did have, what content could they release, and Hey, Is Dee Dee Home is the end result of that. Yeah. Great stuff all around. Anyway, that's it for today. Enjoy any of that. Shape your world around those things. Because, what else you got to do? All right, till tomorrow. Goodbye.